Avengers Tower, originally called Stark Tower, is a skyscraper at 200 Park Avenue in Manhattan built by Tony Stark, the billionaire inventor and armored hero known as Iron Man. As a self-sustaining, clean energy skyscraper powered by a massive arc reactor, this device allowed the building to operate off-grid for over a year. Tony used the top 10 floors for advanced research and development. The tower became a prime battlefield in the Chitauri invasion. Loki chose its rooftop to install a Tesseract-powered portal generator, drawing the alien army to Midtown. Tony confronted Loki and then fought off the invading forces from within the tower. After that assault, repurposed the tower into the Avengers' shared base. S.H.I.E.L.D. formally dissolved afterward, leaving the tower as the team's main headquarters. Tony activated a new artificial intelligence named Ultron on its premises and oversaw key events, including the treatment of Clint Barton and the training of newcomers Pietro and Wanda Maximoff. Following the Battle of Sokovia, the Avengers moved to a rural compound in upstate New York. Tony sold the tower to CIA Director Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. She renovated the building and renamed it the Watchtower. Avengers Mansion, the team's original headquarters, stood at 895th Avenue in Manhattan. It began as the Stark family home before Tony donated it to fund the Avengers via the Maria Stark Foundation. Butler Edwin Jarvis maintained the 5-story structure, which included 3 above-ground floors for housing and a hangar for the team's Quinjets, plus 3 basement levels for specialized areas like an armory, training room, gym, and cryogenic containment. Mansion repeatedly faced destruction by Baron Zemos, Masters of Evil, during Avengers Disassembled, when Jack of Hearts exploded and a Vision-piloted Quinjet crashed, and again by the Black Order. Each time, rebuilds followed until financial constraints led Tony to abandon the mansion. The grounds were landmarked and later used occasionally by Young Avengers and New Unity Avengers teams. Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, commonly called the X-Mansion, serves as both home and academy for Charles Francis Xavier, a powerful telepath who uses his inherited estate at 1407 Graymalkin Lane, Salem Center, Westchester County, New York, as a headquarters for the X-Men. The mansion originated in the late 1700s on land settled by the Graymalkin family. The current neoclassical main house stands beside Breakstone Lake and was owned by 10 generations of Xaviers before Xavier inherited it. After his career at Oxford University, war service, and psychic battles, Xavier founded the school to train mutants to control powers and foster mutant-human coexistence. Xavier recruited his first students, Jean Grey, Scott Summers, Bobby Drake, Warren Worthington, and Hank McCoy, who became the original X-Men. Over time, the student body expanded to include the new mutants. The mansion includes living quarters and classrooms above ground. Key underground facilities include the Danger Room, a programmable training area filled with hazards, Cerebro, a telepath-enhancing mutant detection supercomputer, a medical lab, hangar with X-jets, holding cells, a war room for mission planning, and other labs. The grounds feature Breakstone Lake and a boathouse used by Scott and Jean Grey as newlyweds. The X-Mansion has been destroyed and rebuilt multiple times. During the Sidri attack by Mr. Sinister, and after Sentinel-related destruction in Messiah Complex. In summary, the X-Mansion remains the central base and educational center for mutant kind. It supports mutant growth through advanced training, research, shelter, and strategic planning, while adapting to changing threats and shifting identities. The Kingdom of Wakanda first appears in Fantastic Four number 52. As a hidden nation in northeastern Africa, it lies near Lake Victoria, or Lake Turkana, bordered by neighbors like Azania, Canaan, and Mohanda. Geographic defenses include dense jungles and insurmountable mountains. Wakanda's capital is Berninzana, a smart city combining elevated maglev trains with low-rise buildings featuring thatched roofs and hanging gardens. The royal palace stands at the city's cultural core. The nation's history includes a meteorite of vibranium that crashed millennia ago, seeding the country's vast mineral wealth. Wakanda's culture centers on the Panther Cult, a spiritual and political institution responsible for training and granting the title Black Panther through ritual ascension using the heart-shaped herb and trials on Mount Kanda. 5 tribes compose Wakanda. The River Tribe wears crocodile skin clothing. The Mining Tribe oversees vibranium extraction. The Merchant Tribe handles trade and crafts while veiling their faces. The Border Tribe masquerades as farmers and tends rhinos. The Jabari Tribe, also called the Mountain Tribe, follows a gorilla cult and remains physically and culturally separate. Economically, Wakanda uses the Wakandan dollar and trades limited resources like diamonds, coal, uranium, and weaponry. Vibranium reserves are immense, with an estimated 10,000 tons at 5-digit per gram value. The nation maintains advanced military forces, a ground army, naval division, and an elite air guard utilizing armored flight suits. A former secret police group called Hatut Zeraze continues operations despite official dissolution. Mythology traces back to beings called the Originators, defeated by panther gods Bast, Koko, Thoth, Mujaji and Ta the Shaper, who shaped the spiritual foundation of Wakanda. Notable welders include T'Chaka, a former monarch, T'Challa, a warrior monarch, Shuri, a tech genius and sibling, Okoye, commander of the Dora Milaje, Ayo, Dora Milaje member, Kabi, border tribe leader, M'Baku, Jabari challenger, Nakia, merchant tribe spy, Zuri, royal advisor, Ramonda, matriarch, and Jadaka, a rebellious heir. They all contributed to pivotal events such as leadership disputes, tribal conflicts, invasions and alliances within major story arcs, and film adaptations. Thus, Wakanda functions as a sovereign and heavily fortified African nation defined by technological superiority, tribal heritage, spiritual governance, and global influence rooted in vibranium. The realm called Asgard appears first in Journey into Mystery number 85 as a separate dimensional world where the Aesir reside. It exists as a flat landmass roughly the size of the continental United States within the god realms of the Inner Planes. Originally founded by Bor, ancestor to the ruling line, Asgard later became capital under Odin Borson, its current sovereign. Odin's realm shares a planetoid with 9 distinct regions, known collectively as the Nine Realms. Asgard itself, Vanaheim for the Vanir, Alfheim for the Light Elves, Nidavellir for the Dwarves, Midgard, Earth for humans, Jotunheim for frost giants, Svartalfheim for dark elves, Helheim for the dishonored dead, and Muspelheim for fire giants. The capital city, also named Asgard, sits at the center with key locations including Hlidskjalf, the skyborn throne room of Odin, Valhalla, the hall of honored dead, Nornheim, domain of the three Norns, Bifrost, the rainbow bridge linking Asgard to Midgard guarded by Heimdall, and the realm below beneath the planetoid where rock trolls dwell. Asgard's realm operates under alternate physics. It lacks axial rotation or solar orbit and is sustained by an unknown luminary that provides periodic light and dark phases. Historically, Asgard hosts ancient mythic contests. As recounted in Tales of Asgard stories, it houses Yggdrasil, the cosmic world tree uniting the 9 realms. Asgard faced destruction and fear itself when Odin relocated Asgardians, and later again during War of the Realms events. Asgard remains a seat of cosmic governance populated by Asgardians including Thor Odinson, a warrior god, Loki Laufeyson, a trickster strategist, Frigga, the queen consort, and Karnilla, regent of Nornheim, all central to conflicts spanning tribal wars, realm-spanning invasions, and internal political struggles across multiple series and arcs. The Baxter Building first appeared in Fantastic Four number 3 as a 35-story office tower at 42nd Street and Madison Avenue in Manhattan, New York City, located just a few blocks from the United Nations. Originally constructed in 1949 by the Leland Baxter Paper Company, the structure featured first-of-its-kind K-bracing and unusually tall 24-foot ceilings suited for heavy pulp recycling machinery. Initially, the Fantastic Four rented the top 5 floors, but faced disruption due to supervillain attacks. Reed Richards, a genius stretchable scientist who leads the team, eventually purchased the entire building to protect tenants and stabilize operations. During early adventures, the building was launched into space by Dr. Doom and nearly destroyed before being returned to Earth with assistance from Namor. Inside, the uppermost floors are fully airtight with environmental systems, airlock doors, thick reinforced walls, heavy security, laboratories, communications rooms, observatory, gym, private apartments, and hangars for the Fantasticar and Fantasticopter. The lower floors remain civilian offices, and buffer zone floors, separate public and private sections. Security systems include biometric access, building automation defenses, and Robot Herbie deployed as building guardian. A recurring public figure stationed there is Willie Lumpkin, a mail carrier who delivers to the Fantastic Four and informed key security measures in at least one Mad Thinker villain attack. The Baxter Building has been destroyed and rebuilt multiple times. It was demolished by Christophe Vernard, Dr. Doom's adopted son, and replaced by Four Freedoms Plaza, located on the same site. After battles with the Thunderbolts and Diablo led to its destruction, Reed and his former professor Noah Baxter constructed a new structure in Earth's orbit. Thus, the Baxter Building has served as a high-tech headquarters, laboratory, strategic stronghold, and symbol of the Fantastic Four's presence in Manhattan, evolving through destruction, rebirth, and adaptation across decades of stories and universes. Krakoa is a sentient island located in the Pacific Ocean that serves as a sovereign nation-state for mutants. It first emerged as a dangerous living landmass in Giant Size X-Men number 1, where its flora, fauna, and terrain attacked X-Men explorers. Ancient origins link Krakoa to Akara, a primordial island split into Krakoa and Arako by a mystical weapon called the Twilight Sword. The landmass remained dormant until nuclear testing infused its ecosystem with sentient energy, merging all life on the island into a single hive mind entity. The House of X initiative narrative saw mutants led by Professor Charles Xavier establish a symbiotic relationship with Krakoa, transforming the island into a living nation. Xavier, alongside Cypher, a language expert, cultivated Krakoa's bioflora to produce life-saving medicines for global trade. These exports formed the backbone of Krakoa's economy and earned international recognition. Krakoa supports mutant society through a vast biosphere with self-sufficient habitats, some functioning as embassies on Earth and even on the Moon and Mars, interconnected via telepathically gated portals accessible only to mutants and their escorts. Governance is managed by the Quiet Council, a ruling body of 12 mutants, including key leaders who set state policy. The island endured major threats. An attack by Orcus at the Hellfire Gala nearly collapsed it, leading islands fragmenting into White-Hot Room, a psychic dimension, before merging back and stabilizing under Krakoa's collective psychic energy. Krakoa's internal landscape features specialized zones such as transit hubs for portals, healing gardens, the armory for weaponry, the Arbor Magna resurrection trees used by the Five, social venues like the Green Lagoon and Bar Sinister, and punitive areas such as the Pit of Exile. Defensive capabilities stem from its ability to form animated Earth constructs, teleportation gates, and channel psychic energy to mutants. During crises, mutants sacrifice themselves to feed Krakoa's life force. The island's rule balances mutant welfare, diplomatic legitimacy, and existential survival through its living ecosystem and societal design. Atlantis appears first in Motion Picture Funny's Weekly #1 as a sunken continent in the Atlantic Ocean, originally similar in size to modern Australia. This region sank during the Great Cataclysm around 20,000 years ago, following King Camus' opening of magma pits and an attack from deviant Lemuria, which allowed the Celestials to destroy Lemuria and submerge Atlantis. The underwater realm of Atlantis is home to the Atlanteans, genetically distinct humans endowed with gills and aquatic adaptation. They established an organized monarchy around 6000 BC atop the ancient ruins, led by generations of the Atlantean royal family. Capital remains the domed city known as Atlantis, located roughly 9,000 feet beneath sea level. It is complemented by additional settlements and colonies like New Atlantis, Maritanis, Bakor City, and Antarctic outposts. The realm has encountered numerous crises. Atlantis fell under Atuma's temporary rule, enabling Lemurian and serpent god-set conspiracies. Namor reclaimed the throne after undersea battles. Namor the Submariner, a mutant son of an Atlantean princess and human captain, possesses superhuman strength, flight, durability, and water adaptation. He became ruler following post-World War II reconstruction when nuclear tests destroyed parts of Atlantis. Ancient Atlantis before its fall featured a crystalline dome over the city, advanced architecture, oceanic temples, and dense population. After its collapse, surviving Atlanteans reclaimed the submerged capital and integrated artifacts, maintaining royal lineage and religious worship of Neptune, while clashing with Lemurian cults like the worshippers of serpent god Set. Atlantis' societal structure is a hereditary monarchy overseen by the Atlantean royal family. Its civilization features advanced underwater technology, including breathing apparatus, domed habitats, military fleets, and diplomatic engagements with terrestrial and extraterrestrial powers. The Marvel Comics Atlantis remains central to dredging conflicted heritage, underwater geopolitics, and Namor's monarchy. The Sanctum Sanctorum first appeared in Strange Tales #110 as the New York City townhouse used by Dr. Stephen Strange, a former surgeon and wielder of mystic arts. It stands on land once tied to Wappinger tribe's spiritual rites and later colonial-era rituals. These layered energies make the site a powerful supernatural nexus. Strange has fortified it with complex wards to contain mystical threats. Externally, it appears as a modest 3-story brownstone. Internally, the layout includes shifting corridors and magically expandable rooms. The basement holds mundane utilities. The ground floor features parlors, dining rooms, and a general library. The upper floors provide living quarters for Strange, his servant Wong, and guests. The top floor is reserved as the sanctum proper, including a meditation room, a cult library, the Book of the Vishanti, and the Orb of Agamotto. The sanctum has hosted several residents and groups. Klee, a sorceress and Strange's disciple, has shared residence during certain periods. Rintra, a mystical apprentice, also lived upstairs. Groups such as the Defenders and the New Avengers used it as a magical headquarters. The sanctum has endured damage in major events. Supernatural battles destroyed artifacts and protective wards, weakening Strange's powers. It has also faced incursions by the Hood's forces and Midnight Sun's villains. Strange frequently restored the structure after these conflicts. Thus, the Sanctum Sanctorum functions as Strange's residence, a repository of arcane knowledge, a defensive stronghold, and a gathering point for mystical heroes. It blends occult heritage, enchanted architecture, and adaptive resilience throughout its history. Hell's Kitchen is a neighborhood on Manhattan's West Side. In the realm of Marvel Comics and adaptations, Hell's Kitchen is the primary setting for multiple street-level heroes. Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer with heightened senses who secretly combats crime under the alias Daredevil. Jessica Jones, a private investigator with superhuman resilience, maintains her office at Alias Investigations here. Luke Cage, a powered hero with bulletproof skin, and Danny Rand, a martial artist known as Iron Fist, also protect this neighborhood and form part of the Defenders group alongside Daredevil and Jones. Criminal control in Hell's Kitchen often shifts between major figures. Wilson Fisk, known as the Kingpin, built Fisk Tower here and influenced crime through corporate and street networks. The Hand, a ninja clan, executed underground plots and conflicts against Daredevil. In the 2010 Shadowlands storyline, Daredevil becomes leader of the Hand and erects a temple prison in Hell's Kitchen before other street-level heroes intervene. The Battle of New York left damage that local crime bosses exploited to launder money and rebuild via reconstruction firms. In comic Gang War, crime lord Tombstone seized Hell's Kitchen after pushing out a group called the Heat. Hell's Kitchen remains the main base and battleground for these heroes and hostile forces. It houses key landmarks: Nelson and Murdoch law offices, Alias Investigations, Fisk Tower, and several local hospitals and precincts. Its compact size allows concentrated patrols and frequent conflicts among vigilantes, mobsters, and ninja factions. In adaptations, Hell's Kitchen is portrayed as gritty and declining, matching the noir tone of Daredevil and his allies. Latveria is a sovereign nation in Eastern Europe. Its capital city is Doomstadt, centered around Castle Doom, a fortified seat of government and modern stronghold. Statehood was established centuries ago by annexing land from Hungary. Population is approximately 500,000, and the government is a one-man rule under Supreme Lord Dr. Doom, who enforces law via robotic guards and state surveillance. Currency is the Latverian franc. Languages include German, Hungarian, English, Latverian, a dialect of Hungarian, and Romanian. The economy relies on Doom's technological patents, robotics exports, and advanced weaponry. Castle Doom houses Doom's residence and advanced laboratories. Dr. Victor von Doom is the absolute ruler, combining mastery of science and magic. He controls Latvian armed forces, a robotics-based military, and enforces obedience through personality cult and fear. Latveria is a global power due to Doom's technological creations and weapons of mass destruction. Latveria's history in major story arcs includes Doom's takeover and nation building in Fantastic Four Annual No. 2, the invasion by Fantastic Four and Richards-led administration that dismantled its defenses in Fantastic Four No. 504. Brief rule by Prime Minister Lucia von Bardas, whose actions led to the Secret War event in 2004. Military interventions by S.H.I.E.L.D. and international heroes. Sanctuary for a mutant faction known as Doom's X-Men. And Doom's elevation of mutated citizens onto Doom Island to protect them from global threats. Latveria remains central to Marvel narratives as the autocratic domain of Dr. Doom, blending medieval imagery and cutting-edge innovations, serving as setting for technological feats, magical mysteries, political intrigue, military schemes, mutant affairs, and global crises. The Red Room is a covert Soviet-era training facility in Russia operated by Department X under KGB oversight. It selects orphan girls, sometimes by force, for intense physical combat instruction, acrobatics, weapons handling, tactical techniques, and ballet training to provide cover identities as dancers. Psychological manipulation involves brainwashing with subliminal video messaging and fabricated memories to reinforce loyalty. Medical enhancements include experimentation on longevity and resilience via super soldier-style serum variant. The program created elite female spies and assassins known as Black Widows, such as Natasha Romanova, chosen early, groomed with a false ballet background, and enhanced into a deadly operative. Agents Yelena Belova and Nadia Van Dyne underwent identical selection and conditioning. The only male equivalent, the Wolf Spider program, produced Nico Konstantin, who became uncontrollable and was imprisoned. Notable historical arcs include a mass killing carried out by Dark Ocean Society and a Ronin operative to provoke war with Japan, foiled when a coalition of national heroes disrupted the plan. The facility also experimented with mutants such as Omega Red, using him as a weapon until heroes overpowered and detained him. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Dreykov leads the program. Natasha and her sister Yelena collaborate to destroy the sky-based fortress during the Black Widow storyline. In every medium, the Red Room serves as the central training ground for covert assassins, blending psychological control, biochemical enhancement, and legacy operatives into a relentless espionage complex. Genosha is an island nation off the southeast African coast, first appearing in Uncanny X-Men number 235 as a nation exploiting mutants as state property via a brutal conditioning process administered by Dr. David Moreau and the Gen-Engineer. This process stripped mutants of autonomy to serve national labor needs. Genosha descended into civil war, pitting humans against oppressed mutants, underscoring its instability. Genoshan magistrates, state enforcers equipped with advanced weaponry, enforced mutant control and captured mutants, including children, through a group known as the Press Gang. The X-Men discovered and rescued kidnapped children such as Jenny Ransom, exposing these abuses. This arc revealed Cameron Hodges' control of the island and ended with heroes liberating captives and toppling the dictatorship. In 1993's Blood Ties, Fabian Cortez instigated a mutant versus human civil war in Hammer Bay. The Avengers and X-Men intervened to halt mutant extremists, including Exodus, and rescued Magneto's granddaughter Luna. Magneto later assumed rulership of Genosha under UN authorization until New X-Men number 114, where Cassandra Nova unleashed Sentinel forces that annihilated the population, ending mutant dominance. Genosha functions as a recurring site of ethnic oppression, mutant sovereignty, violent conflict, political experimentation, and national rebirth. Genosha remains pivotal in Marvel's exploration of mutant rights, humanitarian crises, and changing regimes. The Time Variance Authority is an agency tasked with monitoring and regulating all timelines across the multiverse. It first appeared in Thor number 372. Agents work to prevent dangerous reality branches from forming by removing deviations. The TVA is based within a dimension outside of normal space and time, commonly called the Null Time Zone or Beyond Realm. This place exists independently from any single universe, and its dynamics differ from human timelines. Leadership at the organization includes shadow rulers. In classic comics, the TVA is controlled by Mr. Alternity and He Who Remains, who clone themselves into figures like Mr. Mobius M, Mr. Paradox, Mr. Tesseract, and Mr. Ouroboros. These administrators oversee faceless time trackers, called chronomonitors, and time enforcement troops called Minutemen. Chronomonitors are unmanned clones who watch unique timelines in the TVA's Hall of Chronometry. Each timeline generates a new monitor. When irregularities are detected, administrators send Minutemen or Justices, such as Justice Peace, to prune or handle time criminals. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the TVA appears in the Loki series and in Deadpool and Wolverine. It was created by He Who Remains, a variant who ended the multiversal war, isolated one sacred timeline, and used android timekeepers as a public facade. Variants serving at the TVA have their memories erased and believe they were assigned by those timekeepers. Loki enters a time loop from his past. Mobius and Hunter B-15 realize the TVA's stories about timekeepers are false. Their offices lie in a space where time flows strangely due to its null time zone location. A crisis emerges when Sylvie kills He Who Remains. Branching timelines overload the temporal loom, the machine that weaves the sacred timeline. Leadership, including Judge Gamble and General Dox, decide to stop pruning all variants. Loki discovers the loom is collapsing and realizes maintaining the sacred timeline will require weaving timelines himself. In comics, the TVA also holds trials for time travelers like She-Hulk, using devices like the retroactive canon to retroactively erase guilty individuals. They have run missions involving Justice Peace, confronting villains such as Zaniac. The TVA remains essential across Marvel media as the guardian of temporal order. It blends high-level bureaucracy with time policing, anchored in a realm beyond conventional existence, and stands at the heart of major story arcs involving the multiverse, temporal justice, and branching realities across comic and adaptation timelines. Madripoor is an island city-state in Southeast Asia. It first appeared in the New Mutants number 32. The capital city shares the island's name and divides into two districts. Hightown, an affluent area with luxury hotels, government offices, the Prince's Palace, and high-end business centers, and Lowtown, known for rampant crime, smuggling hubs like Buccaneer Bay, bars such as the Princess Bar, and underworld factions. Historically, Madripoor was a pirate refuge starting in the 1600s and later became a tax haven that refuses extradition, attracting warlords, smugglers, secret societies, and criminal syndicates. Governance changes frequently among criminal powers. The island hosted major storylines, Wolverine operating under the alias Patch, defending Hightown from pirates and rescuing hostages. In Hunt for Wolverine, X-Men characters joined Kitty Pryde in a search for Logan's Patch persona, uncovering Lowtown's darker schemes. Madripoor remains vital as a crossroads of international crime, mutant politics, and espionage. The Savage Land is a hidden tropical region beneath the Antarctic ice. It maintains a warm climate thanks to a volcanic ring and ancient alien machinery installed by the Nuwali roughly 200 million years ago under the direction of cosmic beings called the Beyonders. This preserve first appeared as The Land Where Time Stands Still in Marvel Mystery Comics number 22 and was later named the Savage Land in Uncanny X-Men number 10. The area hosts diverse prehistoric life, including dinosaurs and early mammals, as well as mutated hominids like man-apes preserved by the Nuwali. Many sentient races share this land. The human-like inhabitants include Kevin Plunder, known as Khazar, who acts as the protector and self-proclaimed Lord of the Savage Land, and his companion Zabu, a saber-toothed tiger. Other key figures include Princess Shanna, who defends the land with Khazar, and villains such as Sauron, Pterosaur-turned-Envier, Garok the Petrified Man, Zaladane, a sorceress rivaling Shanna, and various Savage Land mutates, locally engineered warriors created by Magneto, later led by Sauron. Famous locations within the land include the Goron Sea, an inland lake for fish people, Mount Flavius, Gondora beneath a dormant volcano, the Valley of Geysers, the Altar of Death for swamp men rituals, and the High Evolutionary's abandoned citadel. The Savage Land remains central to Marvel as a rich, self-contained ecosystem where prehistoric biodiversity, unique cultures, and superhuman conflict converge. Knowhere is a colossal severed head of an ancient celestial floating in space at the edge of the universe, serving as a hub for many species and timelines. It first appeared in Nova, Volume 4, Number 8. The station orbits in a region called the Rip, where dimensions intersect, making it a crossroads and research outpost. It originally functioned as a mining colony owned by the Tyvan Group, harvesting rare celestial materials like bone, brain matter, and spinal fluid. Over time, Knowhere attracted outlaws and smugglers due to minimal law enforcement. Cosmo the Space Dog, a telepathic Soviet space dog enhanced by cosmic radiation, serves as the station's chief of security and key liaison to visiting cosmic travelers. The Guardians later established Knowhere as their base, utilizing its teleportation device called the Continuum Cortex. They used it to launch missions including the battle to close the Fault and interventions during cosmic crises. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Knowhere first appeared in Thor: The Dark World and was later featured in Guardians of the Galaxy. It was originally owned by the Collector before being acquired by the Guardians, who repaired damage from Thanos' attack and installed engines to convert it into a mobile city. Knowhere is vital as both a cosmic frontier port and an observatory, blending commerce, exile, science, and refuge. It plays a central role in Marvel's cosmic sagas across both comic and screen adaptations. Gotham City first appears in Batman number 4. It is presented as a large northeastern U.S. city, often in New Jersey. The name Gotham is borrowed from early 19th century New York satire and selected to give universal resonance. The city's origins include Miagani, a Native American tribe, with Dutch settlers founding its precursor, New Rotterdam, in 1609. A later tale credits the burial of an ancient warlock under the land, causing a persistent influence of corruption. From the Bronze Age onward, Gotham is plagued by organized crime and political corruption, mirrored in repeated crises. The Court of Owls is a secret society rooted in Gotham's elite since colonial times. They use undead assassins called Talons to maintain power, confronting the city's ward protector Bruce Wayne. Gotham's key districts include Wayne Manor on a hill overlooking the city, the Batcave beneath, Arkham Asylum, and GCPD headquarters for law enforcement. Gotham serves as the anchor location for Batman and his allies, such as Oracle, Nightwing, Robin, Huntress, and Commissioner Gordon. It also hosts villains including the Riddler, Scarecrow, Joker, Penguin, Clayface, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze. Gotham frequently intersects with broader DC Universe elements. Superman and the Justice League have visited, reinforcing its role as a vital urban center beyond local superhero affairs. The Fear State crossover shows Jonathan Crane pushing a fear-based takeover, Mayor Nakano enforcing martial law via magistrate, and new heroes like Jace Fox joining Gotham's defense. Gotham City remains a central setting for major adaptations across media. It appears across television dramas, animated series, and films, each preserving its dark character, corrupt institutions, and capacity for renewal through its defenders, especially the figure of Batman. Metropolis first appears by name in Action Comics number 16 as the adopted hometown of reporter Clark Kent and his role as hero Superman. The city stretches over 6 boroughs, including a central island called New Troy, with waterways, parks, and dense skyscrapers. Through the 18th century, it becomes a publishing hub when the newspaper The Daily Planet launches in 1775. By the 20th century, its skyline is modeled on a mixture of Toronto, New York, and Cleveland influences. That design choice reflects a vision of progress and technological power. Metropolis Metropolis lies on the northeastern coast, often placed in Delaware across a bay from Gotham City in New Jersey. Key landmarks include the Daily Planet building, distinguished by a rotating globe atop it. LexCorp Tower houses the business empire of Lex Luthor, a powerful industrialist and mayor of Metropolis in various stories. Star Labs and Project Cadmus represent scientific and genetic research facilities. Major residents include Clark Kent, Lois Lane, an investigative reporter at The Planet, Jimmy Olsen, a photojournalist, and Perry White, editor-in-chief of the newspaper. Other defenders include the hero Booster Gold, who uses future technology and time travel, and Black Lightning, who wields electrical powers. Frequent threats include alien invasions, rogue metahumans, and industrial sabotage. Events like the Death of Superman storyline cement Metropolis's status as a global target. The city also supports sports teams in baseball, basketball, football, and ice hockey. Its infrastructure and identity remain heavily tied to symbols of hope and innovation. Metropolis functions as the core of Superman's world. It features advanced architecture, vital media and science hubs, a lineup of civilian and heroic figures, recurring crises, and its close link to Gotham defines a twin city dynamic within the DC narrative. The Batcave is the underground headquarters beneath Wayne Manor in Gotham City. First referred to as an underground hangar in Batman number 12, the caverns existed naturally and were used by Wayne ancestors as a Civil War-era safe haven and storage site. As a child, Bruce Wayne fell into the caves through a well on the estate and later rediscovered them to establish his headquarters. Entry routes include a hidden door behind a grandfather clock in the study, a sliding bookcase or secret button, bat poles from Wayne Manor, a service road via waterfall or pond, and a tunnel under Wayne Enterprises. These lead to main hubs, like the central computer console, equipped for global surveillance and forensic analysis. The Batcave houses multiple functional zones: a crime lab, a gym, workshops, a vehicle hangar for the Batmobile, motorcycles, the Batplane, Batwing, and secure kryptonite vault. The Hall of Trophies displays memorabilia gathered over crime-fighting campaigns. During the Cataclysm crossover, a major earthquake damaged the cave in Wayne Manor. The Bat family temporarily relocated assets off-site and then rebuilt the cave with reinforced levels, seismic protection, a bomb shelter, elevators, bridges, and expanded labs over 8 levels tied to a power source from an underground river or nuclear generator. Allied members, including Alfred Pennyworth, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and teams like the Outsiders have access. On rare occasions, adversaries have reached the cave but were subdued. The Batcave remains Batman's strategic nerve center, combining surveillance, operations, research, medical care, and historical preservation. The Elizabeth Arkham Asylum for the Criminally Insane is located on an island or in rural Gotham County and serves as the psychiatric facility for Gotham's most dangerous inmates, established by a psychiatrist to treat those legally deemed insane. It debuted under the name Arkham Hospital in Batman number 258. Its founder, Amadeus Arkham, renamed the facility after his mother Elizabeth's death and built it to care for mental illness. He later became a patient himself after he killed a serial killer under treatment. Jeremiah Arkham, his nephew, assumed control in the 1990s, evolving from an idealistic doctor to an obsessive administrator. Security at Arkham is unreliable, giving rise to repeated inmate escapes. The first mass breakout occurred in Batman number 400, orchestrated by Ra's al Ghul. Joker led inmates in a deadly takeover targeting staff and Batman. Notable patients include Joker, Two-Face, the coin-obsessed criminal, the shape-shifting forger, Scarecrow, a fear-based villain, Professor Milo, the toxic scientist, Black Mask, the masked crime lord, and Nightslayer, the vigilante-turned-killer. The building is depicted as a Gothic stone complex with high walls, padded cells, treatment rooms, and a morgue. Some medically trained villains, like Hugo Strange, have worked there as staff. Treatment there includes court-mandated assessments, confinement in customized cells reflecting inmate psychologies, often leading to rapid relapse. Its role in the Gotham universe is to contain, study, and frequently lose control over dangerous minds. Arkham Asylum's narrative function is to highlight societal and psychological breakdowns through the interaction of its patients and those who run it, making it a recurring centerpiece for Gotham's conflicts and moral crises. The Fortress of Solitude first appeared as a hidden mountain retreat near Metropolis before evolving into its iconic Arctic stronghold, accessible only to Superman via a massive metallic key, serving as Superman's private refuge, research center, and vault of Kryptonian legacy. Its location is highly classified, known only to a small circle, including Lois Lane and Batman. The structure houses a large statue of Jor-El and Lara rising with a globe of Krypton. Its original Silver Age layout includes alien zoo exhibits, Superman robot duplicates, a Phantom Zone projector, sector, Bottle City of Kandor, living quarters for Clark Kent and Supergirl, a laboratory for kryptonite defense, a computer and communication center, and specialized exercise devices. A Kryptonian artifact called the Eradicator constructs a new Antarctic fortress based on Kryptonian crystal tech, later evolving into a dimensional tesseract structure relocated to the Andes and other environments. The Fortress of Solitude functions as Superman's sanctuary, research lab, museum, and crisis command center. It serves as an operational base for global defense and introspection. Themyscira first appears as Paradise Island in All-Star Comics number 8, introduced as a concealed island inhabited by the Amazons, warrior women gifted with superhuman strength and immortality by Greek deities, and sworn to a peaceful mission. Originally located in the Aegean Sea near ancient Greece, this island was formed by Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, after they were freed from burdens imposed by Hercules. Themyscira is a sovereign realm with Hippolyta reigning alongside her warrior sister Antiope, each embodying justice, strength, and wisdom. The society is built on Greco-Roman architecture dating to around 1200 BCE, surrounded by a mystical barrier that conceals it from the outside world. The Amazons follow annual rituals such as the Feast of Five, honoring the goddesses who created them, and engage in warrior training focused on bullets and bracelets, which allow them to deflect projectiles. The island also practices Send Forth, a ritual where Themysciran Amazons spiritually guide found infants and return them to their origin point. The island retains abilities of teleportation and concealment through magical means. Themyscira serves as the birthplace and power base of Diana of Themyscira, a princess who later embraces the mantle of Wonder Woman. Diana leaves to represent the Amazons, bringing ideals of peace and equality into her superhero identity. Themyscira thus functions as a secluded nation founded on Amazonian values and divine heritage. It is structured as a culturally rich, magically protected city-state governed by warrior queens, central to major storylines that highlight Amazon growth, divine influence, and global representation through Diana. The Justice League Watchtower first appears in JLA number 4 as the main headquarters of the Justice League of America on the Moon, built using advanced alien materials and technology. Originally, the League's base was a secret mountain fortress in Happy Harbor. It sits on the Moon's surface and connects via teleportation tubes to the Earth-based Hall of Justice. The Watchtower contains a solar tower with photovoltaic energy, an observation deck with security scanners, a power annex for managing reserves, a stellar telescope for cosmic monitoring, armory, labs, medical bay, hydroponics, recreation areas, and private quarters for members. During the Thanagarian invasion storyline, the base was damaged and later rebuilt into Watchtower 2, a larger orbital station featuring a binary fusion generator able to repel threats, hangars, a conference center, containment cells, and advanced amenities. The Watchtower functions as the League's strategic control center, supporting global surveillance, crisis management, technological research, and team coordination. Oa is an ancient desert planet located at the center of the universe and serves as the headquarters and homeworld of the Guardians of the Universe, an immortal, blue-skinned alien race responsible for creating and overseeing the Green Lantern Corps. The Guardians migrated from the planet Maltus to Oa to establish universal order and formed the Corps to patrol 3,600 sectors across reality. Oa features a crystalline city centered around the central power battery, which houses willpower energy used to recharge every Green Lantern ring. The Book of Oa, kept in the Hall of Great Service, serves as the Corps' sacred law book and historical record. Other key structures include the Planetary Citadel, where the Guardians meet and track cosmic events, the Foundry, where rings and batteries are forged, and the Hazard Simulation Facility, where recruits train under the guidance of Sergeant Kilowog. The Memorial Hall honors fallen lanterns, and the Sign Cells serve as high-security prisons for powerful criminals across the universe. During the Emerald Twilight storyline, the rogue Green Lantern Hal Jordan drained the central power battery, killing most Guardians and destroying the planet's defenses. The planet was later restored, and the battery recharged by Kyle Rayner, who reformed the Corps. OA functions as a planetary command center and prison all at once. It strategically organizes Corps operations through its telepathic link with every lantern and the central power battery.